up a little bit. You know what to do. When you applying for that job and you know you ain't got no experience with Microsoft Word, but you sat up there and said that you know how to do Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, all that, girl, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So yes, do the same thing with the application. What's going on, family? It's your girl Tatiana Moss and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I talk about social wellness, fashion, lifestyle, career, and entrepreneurship advice. So if any of those things are of interest to you, go ahead and click that subscribe button down below so you can become part of the family too. And for our returning viewers, hey family, what's going on? Thank you so much for coming back and clicking on another video from your girl. So today's episode of the Social Work series is going to be about none other than how to apply for your master's program. So if you guys are not aware, if you're new to my channel, I'm currently in my second semester of my MSW program, and God willing, I will be finished in December. So in this video, I will be just sharing with you guys all of the tips and suggestions that I have so you are more prepared and you're ready to apply for the graduate program that you want. So if you guys are interested in hearing my thoughts on this, y'all know what to do. Give this video a thumbs up and let's get started. So I know you are probably so nervous or worried about applying for your program, but it's okay. You got it. Like, I was the same way, y'all. I had a gap of almost 5 years when I got my undergraduate degree as far as me applying for my program. I just was thinking about all these different things, like I'm not going to be able to afford to go. I was scaring myself out of the application process, all these other things that were kind of like excuses pretty much for me to not apply for the program. But I'm here to tell you that get out your own head and apply. Like, the worst that they can do is deny you, but you know, push comes to shove, you can always apply again and stuff like that. So don't even worry about all that. So that would be my first tip, is to just get out of your own head and apply. Like, I don't feel like it's never really the right time to do something. You kind of just got to do it. I'm a person that I don't kind of wait for the right timing. I just do it, and then if it's meant for it to stick, then I feel like it's gonna fall through. So last year when I applied, I was going through a lot. Especially mentally, and the last thing I was thinking about was applying for school, but I know I was just like, I want to get this part of my life out of the way, so while I'm in this funk, let me just apply for the program and see if I get in. And I ended up pretty much getting into every program that I applied for. So that's just a little backstory to just kind of help you guys and motivate you guys. But that, I guess you would say, would be my first tip, is to just kind of get out of your own head and just apply for the program. The second tip that I would suggest is to make sure that you have money together to actually fill out the application. Yes, there is an application fee for most schools when it comes to applying for their program. Now, some you can get like a waiver or something like that, and you can find ways around it, but I did have to end up paying for pretty much all of mine except one, because I applied to 3 schools. So just go ahead and make sure you got that coin together, honey, because just like an apartment, you got to have that fee as well when it comes to applying for these graduate programs. The next suggestion I would say is to gas yourself up. Like, just as if you was gonna go on an interview and you know you don't know how to do half of that stuff, you're gonna do the same thing with the social work program. If you're new to the field, I'm pretty sure that, I don't know what drew you into social work, but I feel like having basic skills such as like being able to talk to people, being a critical thinker, things like that are great ways to kind of get yourself in the door. So you want to use like certain keywords such as, like I said, critical thinker, being able to have interpersonal skills to work along with people, being able to be a team player, having great time management. So when you are filling out these applications, you just want to gas yourself up. Even if you don't feel like you're the best in these areas, you got room to grow. So just make sure that when you are applying, whatever it is that they're asking, like, you just pull full force anything that you feel like that you are good at, or if you're not even good at it, like I said, just fluff it up a little bit. You know what to do. When you apply for that job and you know you ain't got no experience with Microsoft Word, but you sat up there and said that you know how to do Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, all that, girl, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So yes, do the same thing with the application and see what happens. The next suggestion I would say is to make sure that you know how to answer case study questions or prepare yourself to answer case study questions. I know on 2 of the applications that I applied for, I had to answer some type of case study. And if you don't know what a case study is, it's pretty much like they give you like a mock case of a client, and you have to pretty much discuss and write out what would you do in that situation. Now, you got to be careful with these kind of things, because a lot of times with these tests or these case studies, the answer that you really want to put is not necessarily what you should put. Hopefully that makes sense. So just think about it from a standpoint of kind of doing it in the book related way as far as when you are answering these case studies and stuff. The next suggestion I would say is to make sure that you have your personal statement ready. Your personal statement is just going to pretty much entail like your history, what brought you to the field, why you want to be a social worker, asking if you know anything about like the NASW values, knowing the ethics of social work. So kind of just having an idea of what it is that brought you into the field, already kind of have like an essay or a paragraph of some sort prepared, so when you you know, fill out the application, you kind of could just ease your way into it. But 9 times out of 10, they're probably going to have you do, like I said, a case study and a personal statement, and sometimes they're going to have you just answer different questions related to the field of social work, and you got to answer those as well. So just make sure you just prepare yourself to write some stuff, because you are definitely going to be writing. The next suggestion I would say is to make sure that you have referrals. Most schools, they typically want you to have 3, so try not to get like, you know, your aunties and your cousins and stuff like that. If you can, shoot for professional type of referrals. I would say old professors, somebody that you've worked with before that can vouch for you. Maybe you volunteered somewhere. Not saying you can't use personal, but just be careful with that, because sometimes they do like to look for more professional referrals or whatnot, and I don't want you guys to, you know, get yourself in a hole because of that. So make sure at minimum, if they are asking for 3, that you have 2 professional and just 1 personal. The next suggestion that I would say is to make sure that you have your transcript. I think that's pretty much obvious for the most part. You just go to your old school, or you can go online now and pretty much get a printout and get it sent to any school. They made it so easy now, like you can literally just go in, type in the school that you have. I'm gonna try to leave the website down below that I use. Type in the school that you went to, and then it'll automatically, if you want to get the transcript sent to you or get it sent to whatever school that you want to apply for, you can do that as well. So yeah, so the process is really easy with that. So, and you do gotta typically pay a fee with a transcript too, but I think most of us know that at this point, but it shouldn't be too much. Okay, so the next tip that I would give is possibly being ready to take the SAT. Now I know the schools that I applied for did not have an SAT. Depending on what school you do apply for, I think that they do still have that as their program curriculum or whatnot. Now I don't hear about SAT too much anymore, to be honest, or I don't even want to say SAT. I can't remember what the name of it is, but you know the test that you got to take to get into grad school.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
If that's the right name of it, but whatever it is, sometimes you do have to take a test to get in. So just possibly prepare yourself to have to take a test, but I personally would avoid schools that you have to take tests, because I'm not the best test taker, and I feel like a lot of schools are starting to learn that like tests definitely make people anxious, and it's not really the best way to be able to tell if somebody is a great fit for the program or not. Like I could be an amazing writer or a great person that can work in the field and all of this, but you're gonna judge me based off of a test score? Like, that's crazy. So just prepare yourself, but most of the schools now I don't think have those huge tests anymore, so thank God for that. All right, the next suggestion I would say is to make sure that you have money prepared to possibly put a deposit down. I know the school that I'm currently going to, which is VCU, Virginia Commonwealth University, I had to put down a $100 deposit, I guess, to hold my spot for when I actually enroll into the program or whatnot. So just prepare yourself to have to maybe put a deposit down depending on whatever school you go to. It might not be the same thing for every one of them, but I know VCU in particular, they did make me put a deposit down, because I guess they want to make sure like, okay, well, if she pulls out, then at least we got a little bit of money from her. So just prepare yourself to have to possibly put some money down when you're applying for these programs and you get approved. Now I meant to say that, so if you don't get accepted, then of course you're not gonna have to pay, but if you do get accepted, then yeah, you might have to possibly put a deposit down. Okay, the next suggestion I would say is to have an academic summary form together. I don't know if all schools do this, but again, one of the schools that I applied for asked for it, so I just listed a lot of stuff that I felt like that might be useful in all different type of applications, because every application is different, but a lot of this stuff that I've talked about is like, I think some of the main things that they do ask for, and an academic summary form could be that as well. It's just pretty much like a piece of paper or like a document pretty much listing like your classes I guess you took, or whatnot in undergrad, and I guess you're trying to get an understanding of what you already took so you don't have to retake certain classes if you don't need to. The next suggestion I would say is to make sure that you kind of have an idea of what kind of student you are. So are you somebody that you need somebody to stay on top of you want to be in a classroom environment, online? I am doing the online version of it. I definitely would have preferred to do it in person, but I just feel like the way my life is set up now and the age that I'm at, I really didn't care anymore how I got the degree. I just wanted to get my degree. But if that is something that is concerning for you, I do want you to take that into consideration. Like, do I want to be in a classroom environment or do I want to be online? Which there's a lot of flexibility with that. So that is something to take in, understanding what kind of learner you are, because with online you have to be disciplined and you have to stay on top of that stuff. These professors are not going to sit up here and baby you and tell you like, okay, well you got to do this and do that, like how it was in undergrad, or sometimes in person too. You know, it's kind of second nature to do certain stuff because you're going to class. When you have to like discipline yourself to log in and go and do this work, it's a much different process. So just kind of understand what kind of student you are going into this process is going to help you as well. The next suggestion I would say is to make sure that you know what kind of program that you want to do as well. Are you somebody that you want to hurry it through? Are you working full-time and you feel like, hey, I would like to get my degree, but I also know I need to work. So are you going to do part-time? Are you going to do full-time? Are you going to do advanced standing? So kind of have an understanding of that too, because most applications, they do ask you what duration of program do you want to apply for. I'm doing a 16-month one, which I believe is like a year and a half. So it's a little advanced, but it's not as advanced as the 1-year program, which would have been 12 months. But again, you got to just do whatever works best for you. As long as you get the degree, that's all that matters. Don't pay attention to everybody else. Run your own race and everything is going to fall into place for you when it's supposed to. All right, and the last suggestion I would say is to believe in yourself. Kind of tying back into that first tip, like put yourself out there. Like, don't be afraid to apply, y'all. Apply. Again, the worst that can happen is you getting denied to get in, but it's okay, because when one door closes, guess what? 1,000 other of them open back up. And I feel like when something gets shut down, it's because God didn't want that for you. It's because he has something greater for you, or maybe the timing wasn't right, or whatever the case may be. But I always look at stuff as a blessing and being like, you know, God blocked this for a reason, so let me look at another route and find a different way of how to get around this. You know, talk to God and really just ask for him to lead your steps in what direction to go in with the program that you're applying for, which duration that you want to do, all of that. And I feel like everything's going to come together the way it's supposed to. So I'm wishing you all so much luck. I pray you get into whatever program that you apply for. I'm here as your sister to help you guys out along your way. If you go way back on my channel, I have so many different videos down to if you're in the field and you're not in school, on different interventions you could do with your clients. I have what's in my work bag video. I have day in the life videos with my job. I have my series now with me obtaining my master's degree, which is called my MSW Chronicles, so you can check that out. And yeah, like my channel is just a plethora of all different types of things, but if you are looking for social work related content, you are at the right place, because I do have that in my plethora of stuff. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope it was so helpful to any of you that are applying for your graduate program. I don't think that these tips can like not pass for other people applying for their graduate programs too, but you know, specifically I wanted to just talk about social workers and whatnot, but I do think you can, you know, keep these other things in mind too, possibly if you're applying for another graduate program. If you made it all the way to the end of this video and you still haven't subscribed to the family yet, what are you waiting on? Click on that red subscribe button down below before leaving out. And also, if you have any suggestions or anything else that I did not hit down below, make sure you comment that down below, and any other questions that I did not answer, make sure you comment that down below as well. But again, thank you guys so much for watching, and you already know I will see you in my next video. Bye y'all.